You know what I'm saying? Like I make everything connect.
Right.
So from DJing to rapping to cooking to the shows, merchandise, it all comes full circle. So now I got 7 streams of income.
You are now listening to the Music Business Streams podcast, brought to you by KDMR Music.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 20 of the Music Business Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Brandon from KDMR Music. Super excited to have you. I'm in a good mood today. It's episode 20. That seems like a milestone of sorts. And, you know, it's only fitting that episode 20 is an episode of firsts. So, you just heard from today's guest, Finian St. Omer, formerly known as Chaundon from the mighty Justus League. And we talked about so much, but it was a special interview because he actually came and joined me in the studio for the conversation. So we had a great conversation. It was dope, and I'm excited about it. And I think you guys are going to get a lot out of it. So without further ado, I present our conversation. All right, guys, today's episode of Music Business Dreams is a very special one. Not only is this the first time I've had a guest in the studio with us, but this is also someone I kind of grew up listening to. So and without this person, I would not be doing what I'm doing right now. So our next guest, you may know him as Chaundon from the Justus League. He's a DJ, an MC, a manager. He's really just been getting it in and doing it all independently for years now. So please welcome to the Music Business Dreams podcast, Finn the DJ.
What's going on? Glad to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem. So for those who may not be familiar, why don't you just introduce yourself or tell the guests, who you are.
So once again, I am formerly known as Chaundon. Chaundon the back twister for the super fans that was there from the beginning. And I'm also known as Finian St. Omer, which is actually my real name. That's what I go by now. And when I'm on the ones and twos, I go by the name of Finn the DJ. And I run my record label, Golden Era Music, Inc. And like he said, I am a manager. I manage Shame. And I do everything. I own a merchandising company, clothing line.
Word.
I produce. I do everything independently.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, we can kind of start from the beginning. You grew up in the South Bronx?
Yep. Hunts Point Avenue was South Bronx, where it all began.
Word.
Yeah.
So tell us about that a little bit.
Whew. Okay. Just like you would see in documentaries. I am a child of the 70s, so I grew up in the 80s when crack really hit. I've seen the slumlords burn down all the buildings around mine, and everything was abandoned. Crackheads at the height. Like my area in the Bronx, like Hunts Point, is emphatically known as for prostitution, drugs, violence. And we're also we're the number one in poverty. So in the whole country, that's the poorest part of the world.
Wow.
Like the average income for someone in Hunts Point was about $15,000.
Wow.
It was bad. But the crazy part is I grew up in a co-op. And that was one of the, the nicest buildings in Hunts Point.
Right.
So it's like growing up in Hunts Point, you didn't realize, so we were really poor out here. My mom's had a good job. Like, she had 2 jobs. So, we weren't, destitute. But the friends that were, I didn't see it.
Right.
I just was I thought we was all equal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There was some that were living good. Like my crew, in particular, they had, the good, setup. So but then there was some others that didn't, but we were all in this together. We all went to the same schools. We all, hung on the same corners. We all watched the same violence. We all seen everything that went down.
Right. From
hand to hands to everything. And it was like a movie, seeing this stuff going on at the same time. It was like, does this happen in the rest of the world or just here?
Wow.
Again, prostitution was super, you can see it all day.
Wow.
This wasn't just a nighttime thing that, it's tucked away in the corner. No. Like that documentary, Hookers to the Point, that was based off of reality.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And we saw this every day. I've seen people get stabbed in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? People get shot in broad daylight, like in this little peninsula called Hunts Point Avenue. It was when I think about it now, it's like, yo, I grew up in the war zone. You know, like the schools I went to from Head Start to kindergarten to like, you know, 1st to 4th grade was within 1,000 feet of a juvenile detention center called Spofford House. So I'm like, yo, there's a jail near the schools I went to. Like,
wow.
You know, like how many people could say they had a jail next to their school? And then not even 500 feet, the most infamous strip club, the Wedge. Everybody rapped about it. From Mace, all of them used to go there. Like, you know, like the whole 90s. Like, everybody went to Hunts Point to go to the strip club. But that was right across the street from my public school.
Wow.
So that was a sight to see and grow up in. And it's like, I made it out of there alive.
That's like just hearing you describe the Bronx, like, because my family's from Jamaica, Queens. And like when I used to go up there for the summers, like it's nothing like what you're describing. Right. And it's not far from each other. So I don't know. I guess growing up in New York, how was that? Like just going between the boroughs and seeing the differences in life.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing at the end of the day. You know, like you get to see all the cultures. Like the fly thing about New York and all the boroughs, you can tell who's from where by the way they speak and the way they dress. Like, you know, me being from the Bronx and I see somebody dipped out in polo, you're from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like off the top. Like they were low heads for real. You know, cats in the Bronx, we wasn't low heads. We rocked our Timberlands, some jeans, and a white tee. You know, we weren't super flashy like Harlem. You could tell, you know, Harlem cat just because of how they dress, what car they drive, you know, how they talk. They say B all day. You know, what up, B? Was good. You know, in the Bronx we say G. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy. But like growing up and then just seeing everything, it gives you a wider scope on what life is outside of your little area. Right. Because there's a lot of people that grow up in neighborhoods that never venture out their neighborhood. There's people that never left the Bronx. Right. Never left Brooklyn. People from Brooklyn don't like go to the Bronx. People from the Bronx don't like going to the Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, we're almost all the same. We have the same mentality. We all just move slightly different. But to see those little nuances with everybody, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It keeps you on your toes, and then it gets you ready for the world. I mean, the old saying, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. It's true. You know, because you can get swallowed up in New York like that. Right. You know, so, you know, like when I was young, I used to venture out and battle people in their neighborhoods, but never bring my crew. So I would walk in different projects between the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and not care. But I was like, I need to know I'm that dope. But I learned how other rappers move, and it just gave me a better perspective of like, yo, you know, you gotta keep your head on the swivel and know how not to look like a target, right, and not to look like a threat all at the same time. So, you know, that aspect of, you know, maneuvering through the boroughs and just learning how to have that survival tactic, it was essential. Like I if I grew up in North Carolina and went to New York, I wouldn't know how to act. I'd be like, yo, I don't know what to do with y'all. Y'all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now I can see why people look at us like, yo, y'all are seriously crazy. I mean, we're in neighborhoods where we're living on top of each other, next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like 360 degrees, you are surrounded by people. Right. That's crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really think about it, like, yo, there's nowhere to like stretch and have your own space for that, you know, in that aspect. It's like, yo, we grew up in in the crazy environment, but we made the best of it. And it, you know, it built character. Like I'm glad I grew up in the Bronx at that time because it showed me what the worst could be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen crackheads when they were really crackheads. Like they were zombies. Like these new crackheads, they go to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They watered down the formula. And now, but then, nah. I mean, come on. You were buying Nintendos for $5. And Nintendos used to cost, you know, a buck of change. Right. selling cartridges. You know, they give you the whole thing, $5 just to go get a hit.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You know, eyes bulging, face sunk in, like that was scary, yo. When you really think about it, but I was like, yo, like I thought it was normal until I started getting out of the world and seeing different things. I'm like, yo, this is not normal. Like, and as you get older, like, yo, this was an attack on us, yo.
Right. Yeah, that's wild. So let's talk about like that kind of transition out, because I mean, you read the story of Chaundon. It's okay. I grew up in the Bronx, ended up at Central. Right. Well, why Central? Why North Carolina?
Well, truthfully, now here's the real story. After I graduated high school in '94, I went on a college tour, and I saw like all the HBCUs, and the funny thing is, North Carolina Central was my first choice when I was filling out applications, but I never finished the application. I did get accepted to 7 schools, but 6 of them were upstate New York. I was like, I'm done with the snow. I'm done with the winters. Get me out of here.
Right.
But when Virginia State accepted me, they was like, yeah, we need you to come to school on, I think it was like June 20th. I won tickets to the first Summer Jam on Hot 97 in New York. I had to make a decision. Go to Summer Jam or go to school. I chose Summer Jam. I knew I was going to be a rapper. I wasn't going to college to get a degree to work for somebody.
Right.
I was using college as a networking platform for me to get to where I wanted to go. So it didn't matter what school I went to. I just wanted to go rap. That was it. So me turning down Virginia State and going to Summer Jam and then meeting Pete Rock and CL and Freddie Fox, like I got to and Guru, I got to meet all of them before the show and then after. So I was like, this was like my school of hard knocks. This was my university. I wanted to watch and to see, especially for the first Summer Jam, it was like this was huge. Okay. So I was like, I wanted to see how they really connect with the fans. I was thought they're taking notes. I was like, what are they doing that's making them them? So I could become me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And then after Summer Jam was over, I was like, well, I need to go to school. But where am I going to go? Then my college advisor at my job, because I was working at an entrepreneur program in Hunts Point, she gave me an application. It was a 1-page application, and it was to a school called Barber Scotia in Concord, North Carolina.
Word. I
never saw the school. I didn't even see the brochure. I just saw the application. The application was free. So I was like, I'll take it. I'm going to just fill it out. Here you go. Turn it in. Do what you got to do. A couple weeks later, I got accepted. And then I went to that school. But I didn't realize how small that school was. It was a Presbyterian school of 485 students in Little Concord, North Carolina, about 15 minutes out of Charlotte. And that's where I came into North Carolina. I stayed in that school for a couple of years. Then I left. Then a friend of mine that went to Scotia with me, he transferred to Central. So in '99, he called me, and I was back in New York. I was working at a law firm, and he was like, "Yo, Finn, you need to come back to North Carolina." I was like, "For what, B? That's a wash. I'm done. I'm home. I'm happy here now. I got my own crib. I got my own, got the fly job. And I'm still rapping. I'm over there every Tuesday at Justin's." Working on trying to get a deal, battling whoever I got to battle, and that's it. And he was like, look, man, it ain't like what it was at Scotia, man. And what sold it, he was like, look, the ratio is 20-1. I was like, all right, I'll be there in a week. so I told my boss, I was like, y'all want to go back to school, can you fill out this this form for me? And he was like, bet, I'll do that. Oh, we love the fact that you want to take your education, you want to go. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going there for that. So right after I sent the application, that's when it was a fast process. It was like maybe like a week or two. Yeah. And then it was like, yeah, come on. Yeah, and then I went to Central. I came spring 99. So I got there around like January 18th or something like that.
Got you.
And that's how the story of Chaundon into Durham, North Carolina began.
Got you.
But, yeah.
So there's something you said I wanted to kind of stop and pick up on. Because you said you knew you were going to be a rapper, but you felt like you could make it from anywhere. So it was just, I'm going to go rap. Right. Because it seems like conventional wisdom is, New York is where all the labels are.
Right.
a lot of people from here feel like you have to leave, go to New York, go to Atlanta. Maybe not so much now because of the internet, but the time period you're talking about, the internet wasn't big yet.
Right.
What was it that went into that mindset? Like, I can make it from anywhere.
It's just because I could. Like, I really have a mindset of I can do anything I want to do. That's it. Like, there's nothing that can stop me. But I knew I wanted to see more of the world outside of New York. I was always, I have to grow and see other things to understand more. And the great thing of me going to Barber Scotia first, this is when I first met a lot of people from Los Angeles who were like Pyru Bloods. Like, I learned the gang culture from being in that school. Then I met a whole lot of my family from Chicago who were vice lords, folks, all of that. Like, like that, like I never knew that way of life was happening outside of New York, especially the way like the gang culture in Chicago was. So they was putting me on game early on. So then you fast forward to when I'm Chaundon of the Justus League and then we're touring. So when I get to Chicago, I know not to break my hat. Wear it straight, wear it back, or don't wear it at all. Because if you break your hat to a certain side, you're affiliated with somebody. Wow. And that could be trouble for you. Wow. So I learned all of this while I went to college to learn outside things. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I didn't go to get a degree in communications. No, I went to go get a degree in life. So they saved my life without even knowing it by putting me on like, don't do this. Don't say this. This is the way you walk when you in our home. We know you from New York. We know you feel like you invincible, but when you come over here, that armor can get cut. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, word up. And that gave me more of a respect factor for people outside of my little world. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the world is huge. You know what I'm saying? And anybody can get touched. Don't matter where you from. So that's why like I kind of like shed that I'm from New York thing. And I was like, yo, it doesn't matter. Right. Because, somebody from Chicago come to New York and get bodied. Right. Somebody from New York go to LA and get bodied. Like, it don't matter. But I learned the respect. I know how to wipe my feet when I come in your house. Right. So, yeah, like that was the thing. So like when I left, I just wanted to get out of New York and get away from the winter. So I was like, coming to North Carolina, that was easy. All the schools looked alike. And then I was like, all right, cool, I'll just do it. And when I got to Concord, I quickly found my way in rapping on Power 98, then rapping at the clubs, not even like performance venues. No, this was just regular clubs. Word. Like it was just like, stroke of luck. One of my boys told the DJ, yo, my man can rap. And the DJ didn't even look at me. He just handed me the mic. Word. He just threw me. He was like, yo, I'm going to throw you in the water. Let's see if you can swim in here. And I got busy. And then the club promoter saw that and he was like, yo, can you do that again? And he's like, can you do it again? And then next thing you know, it was weeks upon weeks of me rapping at the end of the club night. So like 2 o'clock, it opened the mic just for me. That's what's up. So I knew I was going to do this. And then when I got to Central, it became a super reality when I met Tay. Gotcha. Because me and Tay was just like steel sharpening steel. You know what I'm saying? So I met Knight first because a friend of mine, Joe Drama, when he heard me rap, he was like, yo, you need to meet my boy Ninth Wonder. He got beat, yo. So I was like, word up. And then I met Ninth like maybe a day after he said that. Ninth gave me a beat tape. I wrote to all them beats. Word. I was like, all right, cool. And then I met Tay maybe like a couple of weeks after that. Okay. And I found out about Tay because of, my, mindset of I need to battle everybody. Right. But I didn't intend to battle Tay. That wasn't a thing. It's just that somebody was like, you think you nice? You need to meet Fonte. But I never met, nobody ever like formally introduced us. Right. You know what I'm saying? So then I just kept hearing about him and I was like, okay, cool. So then when we finally met and we was just, rapping for dumb long. And I was like, yo, he's dumb nice. Word. And we just built from there. And then I met Pooh. And then, the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? Because we were a group before there was Little Brother. It was me, Tay, Pooh, and Ninth. It was called Gimme. Okay. And it was like an acronym. So we had so many different acronyms. But the favorite one was God, I Murdered Many MCs. Word. So that was like basically the prerequisite to what Little Brother was. Gotcha. Little Brother formed after I left because I went back to New York and they didn't think I was coming back. And then they recorded Speed, and then that's when it was like, okay, we got something.
Got you.
Let's make Little Brother. Then I came back. But then when they formed Little Brother, I was like, bet. Like, that's y'all.
Got
I'll just
you.
be Chaundon over here then.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, of course, I would have loved to be a part of the group with my brothers again.
Right.
Because when we did all them songs as Gimme, that was like one of the best times I had recording. I was like, this is fun. But when I saw that magic of Little Brother, I was like, look, I just want to be a part of it. And then the listening is made, and I'm the first voice you're hearing listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's what a time.
So let's talk about the Justus League for a little bit. I mean, we were talking before we started the show about how influential the group was. Just talk about how it was to be a part of a crew, because I feel like that's something that's kind of lost now. Like, you have TDE and you have Dreamville to a certain extent, and you have Jamla, but like in hip hop, there's not really many crews because people are coming up, you know, in bedroom studios putting music on the internet. How did that help you being a part of a crew?
I mean, it definitely made me a stronger MC, because it was more like, yo, what Tane Pooh working on? All right, I need to come with something better than that.
Gotcha.
What Legacy working on? Woo! You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, everybody is coming with super quality music, and it's just inspirational. When you see something that's coming out of a dorm room onto vinyl, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just like when I first saw, you know, the listening on vinyl and on CD. I remember personally, I went to Fat Beats and bought it. You know, I was in New York when the album dropped, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna take the plastic off. Almost dropped a tear, because it was like, I've seen this from its inception.
Right.
And, you know, so to see that, to see Comanche, because Comanche was the first one to drop a physical copy with Wood and Nichols.
Right.
I was like, yo, I never seen anybody locally, you know what I'm saying, with a CD.
Right.
That's just crazy. So he started the revolution, and then seeing Little Brother, and then seeing Legacy and the Way Team. So I was like, yo, this is making me really want to do this even more so than where I was before. But like, now I see the business part of it, and I'm like, yo, I really got to get it.
Gotcha.
You know, so being a part of the Justus League collective, I mean, again, it was just really inspirational, and it was just a great time to be alive. And it's not like we sought out to be like, yo, we're going to be this crew that's going to just spark everything. We just wanted to make dope music. That's all it was. We were just kids in college that just wanted to rap.
Word.
And that was it. It was like, there was no, you know, marketing, you know, scheme. There was no plan. It was just, yo, you got them beats, yo. It's like we had like a plethora of you know, producers. We had Ninth, we had Sonny Yorel, we had Eccentric. I bought in Crisis. You know, Big Doe was making beats. So we were never short of beats.
Got you.
And that was it. It was like, yo, we just take the best of the best.
Okay.
And we just having fun. And it, like I said, it became a factory, because it was to a point where it was, we got the beat, let's go to the studio. We make the whole song right then and there. And then go home. And let's do it again. And it's like, yo, everything was, let's go to the studio, yo. That was that was like the Thundercats call, you know what I'm saying? Studio, and it's like, we there.
Okay.
And that was it. You know.
Okay. So some of the downsides, because I mean, you guys are young. There's a lot of you. It's testosterone, it's masculine energy. What are some of the pitfalls that you feel like you guys reached as a group that maybe some young artists can avoid today?
I would say at that time, I would guess, you know, how can I explain it? Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. You know, it was, you know, too many people was trying to like get to the front. I didn't care about none of that personally. I was like, look, I just, you know, it's common sense. We all can't walk through this door at the same time.
Right.
We got to get in line, single file. We're all going to get in. Some people was trying to jump the line. You know what I'm saying? So there was just a lack of structure in the, you know, in the beginnings. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all young.
Right.
But, you know, me coming from where I'm from, I knew to fall back. That's why, like, if you go online, you don't see any photos of me. There's no photos of Chaundon early.
Right.
Because I'm like, I'm not jumping in front of the camera if I ain't got an album. I'm going to wait my turn. I don't need to be the star right now.
Got you.
Little brother is in control right now. I'm going to fall back. I'm following the order. But there's some people who didn't want to follow the order. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we all got egos, but again, I know how to check mine. It's business.
Right.
I was an entrepreneur at 13, so I already understood business early.
Got you.
So it's like, it's not my time to come out and shine right now. I'm going to get my shine regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get to rap on the listening, but I was rapping on every mixtape and on the minstrel show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got my shine, and then I started putting out my own records. So I waited my turn. Some people just not built to wait. And it's like, you can't rush. You can't bake a cake and put it in there 5 minutes and think the cake is done.
Right.
Let that thing bake, B.
Got you.
So that's where, at that time, where things kind of fell apart as Justus League, as the unit. And then that's when Hall of Justice began. Because we, found it just fell into place. We wasn't like choosing, okay, you with us, you with us, you with us. It was like, look, we over here, yo. And then that's how Hall of Justice started. Doe started Hall of Justice. Okay. And that's why people were confused with Justus League, Hall of Justice, who's in what, who's not in what. And it was like, nah, we over here with it. Justus League is still family. Regardless. After all of these years done past, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not what it was between, 99 and 2004.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? 2003, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was what it was. So my advice to the new cats is like, yo, just learn how to wait your turn. Like, we can all walk in. We just can't walk in the door. It's just physically impossible to walk through a passageway, like not in a line. If everybody's lateral, we all can't walk through it. Somebody's going to hit a wall.
Right. So our first episode, we had Amy Flint. And she told me that she kind of helped set up distribution for Hall of Justice. Can you talk about like just the business side of a rap crew? Because I feel like, especially when there's so many members, it's easy to just be like, okay, well, we were rapping and then we got put on somehow. But obviously there's framework and there's groundwork being laid. And I feel like that's the part of a lot of artists are missing now. It's just, okay, well, how do we set up distribution? How do we get into stores? How do we go meet with such and such and get our music pressed up? Like, how are you guys handling that at the time?
I mean, I started to take the reins on that. I was doing a lot of cold calls. I was the point for most of it. So like when, Sandbox was popping, Fat Beats in New York was popping, like I was the one that was their contact. It's like, yo, what you got over there? And I was like, yo, okay, we got the new triple play joint. That's, Legacy, Big Pool, and Away Team. We got the, so we got the CDs. I sell it to you wholesale, $6 a piece. It's a box of 30. You do the math, how many pieces you want.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So like, we just figured out, it's like, okay, in order to get into these stores, we got to call them. It's like, we didn't have anybody to walk us through this. It was self-taught. It was in common sense. It was like, all right, we know we're not going to be in, Sam Goody, but we can get in Fat Beats.
Right.
It's just a phone call. And they know who we are. They you know what I'm saying? Like, they're very keen to what's going on out here in these streets. And this dope hip-hop, Fat Beats knows.
Right.
So it was like, oh, welcome.
Got you.
And y'all coming with boxes and, it's shrink wrapped. It's not on the burnt CD. Yeah, we rock with you guys.
Okay.
Cool. And then we started to figure out who else was doing stuff like Fat Beats, like Sandbox. And then that's all it was. And I was like, look, we know you selling music. We want to get it in your stores.
Got you.
Boom.
That's
what I'm saying? Again, we seen Comanche, set up his joint. And then how he was getting it. Then we just followed suit. He was like, all right, cool. Okay. So it's just, again, another thing about me falling back. Instead of me trying to rush to put an album out, I fell back to learn the business and make sure our records are in these markets. And then making sure we get our merchandise, our T-shirts and everything set up. And it's like, all right, now I know how we can move. So when we get on the road, we can, really make this money for real. It's not just going in the booth and rapping.
Right.
This is a whole empire that we're building, and we don't even know we're building it. Now that we're aware that we're building it, it's like, okay, let's take this really seriously.
Gotcha.
Because I remember one day, Big Doe was talking to me. He was like, yo, sometimes I wish you was whack so I could tell you to stay in the office because you do your thing. You know, you're like the perfect administrator. Like, you know how to keep things in order and make it happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to speak to people. I'm super political. You know, like, if you don't want to talk to, if you ain't want to talk to Doe, you talk to me. Mm-hmm. They're like, nah, Doe kind of brash. Mm-hmm. You know, he said what he said. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I feel I could talk to you.
Right.
I'm like, Doe, what you want me to tell them? I'll be your translator.
Got you.
Let them talk to me. You're going to get to see, like, people think they're going to get the hookup because they talk to me. Mm-hmm. But you're going to get the same result
as talking
to Doe.
Right.
So it's like, all right, if Doe said $20,000, mm-hmm. you ain't like how he said it. So you talk to me, all right, so it's going to cost $20,000. All right, I cut the check. You couldn't cut the check. Talking, you know what? It is what it is.
Right.
But, you know, I understood that. Mm-hmm. I kept things in order. And Doe was like, if you wasn't a dope rapper, boy, mm-hmm. I'd have put you in the office. We'd be crazy right now. Be Rockefeller.
That's what's up.
But, you know, the rapper in me just didn't want to allow to be in the office for good. Mm-hmm. I was like, I got too much to say, man. But then I learned how to balance it.
Okay.
So, like, you know, everything that I learned under Doe mm-hmm. made me successful with Golden Era Music today.
Gotcha.
So, like, you know, I mean, I run my own label by myself. Mm-hmm. You know, I produce my records by myself. You know, like, I have a t-shirt printing company, which I run by myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. But these are all the things that I learned as a road manager for Little Brother. Mm-hmm. I was booking their shows, you know, saying here and there. Like, they had a booking agent, but there was sometimes I would be like, yo, yeah, it's going to cost y'all such and such racks. Mm-hmm. Let's get it going. Calendar's free. Y'all free. I bet. I got an opportunity. Oh, yeah, it's good money. You ready? Boom. And then I got paid just for that 5-minute phone call. Mm. I got 10% of that. And I was like, learning the business. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is more things I can write about as a rapper. And now I know I can survive if I was to ever not be a part of this thing mm-hmm. that we built.
Right.
Or if the ship sank or whatever. I knew I had a golden parachute because gotcha. I knew how to road manage mm-hmm. on a major tour. Mm-hmm. So Little Brother had a major deal. Mm-hmm. He was on a major tour, and I was their road manager. So I learned all of that. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, I got that part. I know how to talk to people about, you know, whatever it is I'm trying to sell or have them be a part of mm-hmm. because of everything that I was kind of like put in place to do for somebody else in my camp. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, now when it's time for me to do it, fine. Once I started Golden Era, now I got my own licensing deal that I got on my accord, not just because I was a part of, you know, the Little Brother Collective and part of the Justus League. It was like, no, y'all buying into Chaundon right now. Mm-hmm. Now this is just me because I figured this out because of everything that I learned. Okay. Thank God for Big Doe and Little Brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like all these opportunities, like people go to school for this. Yeah. I learned this just because I'm a part of the family.
Gotcha.
And it worked out.
Okay. And let's talk about, I guess, like that transition. I mean, you were always a solo artist, but going from Justus League Crew Collective to, okay, now I'm going to start Golden Era Music and start putting out my own music. How did you kind of pull on that network that you had built to get everything started?
Again, everything was inherited. Like every relationship that I built under, you know, Hall of Justice just carried over. Like people were still like, yo, so what you working on? Oh, here you go. 1,000 things I'm working on. Which one you want? So it was an easy transition to keep, you know, saying the machine moving. Like, yeah, all the thing that changed was the name. Mm-hmm. Like it went from Hall of Justice to Golden Era. It went from Chaundon to Finian St. Omer. It's the same process.
Right.
Just the name change. So it really didn't matter.
Okay.
So it was fairly easy. Now I would say the obstacle is in this industry, people come and people go. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the people that I was like, you know, really plugged into, they're no longer in the music industry no more. So like now I gotta either figure out how to make this new relationship happen or say, forget y'all, I'll just do it myself. Mm-hmm. Because again, there's too many, like right now, especially now, it's way too much politics. Plus I'm older now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I'm not trying to be in the club competing with 17-year-olds.
Right.
I'm 42. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I make adult contemporary hip hop. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to compete with none of y'all. Ain't none of y'all nice as me anyway. Mm-hmm. So why am I even competing with y'all? Right. I can make my money over here. Let me just figure out, go back to my Hunts Point days, direct sale from dealer to fiend.
Okay.
I've been doing this. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So, once I started Golden Era, I knew I didn't have to chase a deal again. So I was like, I don't need to get permission from nobody to put records out. That's all I wanted. I wanted absolute freedom. There's nothing like freedom. I wanted to be absolute. I could do whatever I want. So then when Doe got me that situation with Empire to start the record company, I was like, yo, this is the best news I ever got. And I was like, I could do whatever I want to, whenever I want. So I could drop an album in 2 weeks if I want to, right now. He'd be like, yeah, shoot, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like now, just on a music level, I'm in a better space to create what I want and when I want to.
Okay.
I don't let the internet rush me to put out another project. People be like, yeah, your record drops tomorrow. When's your next one coming? Dude, you didn't even get to get past track 2.
Right.
Why are you asking me about next album? Sit there and hold that record. I'm not going to let you rush me.
Okay. You
know what I'm saying? Like, I learned how to find my core base without running into just the frenzy of the internet of content. I'm still running on, the 90s of, I put out an album every 2 years if I need to. You're not going to rush me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's it.
So then how do you sustain yourself during those off periods?
DJing, man. It's a great life. And like that fell on my lap. Like, I mean, in 1990, I did want to start out to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to blend from DJ Jazzy Joyce. You know what I'm saying? She's a friend of the family. You know what I'm saying? Tony Tone from the Cold Crush Brothers, friend of the family. So like, I was always surrounded by DJs, famous or local.
Right.
And a lot of the local DJs was incredible. You know what I'm saying? So I was always surrounded by that, but I knew I didn't have the funds to buy Technique 1200s. So my first pair of turntables were belt drive Panasonics. And that cost me like $120. But I did have that mixer DJ Scratch had in the Rampage video.
Word.
The guy that sold it to me, like in an electronics store in the Bronx in Southern Boulevard, I guess he didn't know the value of that joint, and I got that joint for like $80, and I was like, yeah, I'll take that. Every DJ in my neighborhood tried to steal that joint from me.
Word.
But after I built my first crate, I was like, yo, it's a lot of money, yo. I mean, I was making money young, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing nothing illegal, but I was making money, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I could use this money for something else.
Right.
It's cheaper to be a rapper.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started to rap. So you fast forward and then into technology, you know what I'm saying? It makes everything easier, Serato and all of that. So 4 years ago, I bought Tractor from Native Instruments because I already had the machine and I loved, Native Instruments. I was like, I'm just going to buy a Tractor. I had that thing in a box for months, untouched. I didn't even open it. It was just there. Then my friend Reggie, who opened a barbershop, that's right on New Bern Avenue, the Barber Shop. When he opened that joint, because I know him from Billionaires. Gotcha. So when he opened his own shop, I was joking with him because I see he had a photo of a DJ in the shop. And I was like, when you going to let me DJ, yo? I was just joking. He was like, Friday. It was Tuesday when I hit him on Instagram. The Tractor was still in the box. I had no speakers. I had no music.
Wow.
I got on Amazon. I bought one speaker. Then I went to DJ Flash house, DJ Flash from the Justus League. I say, yo, Flash, man, I got my first gig. It's on Friday, man. Can you give me some music? He's like, you got your hard drive? I said, yeah. He gave me what, 920 gigs of music.
Wow.
He was like, here, go with God. So I was like, okay. So I went and set up at the barbershop. I DJed for like 3 hours. And the funny thing is, 20 minutes into my set, speaker just goes out. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to fix this. But then it just worked. After that, and then the hiccup was gone. I didn't sweat. I didn't panic. I just was like, okay, let me just figure this out. Because being a professional on a stage, when something goes wrong, you just keep going.
Right.
But I'm like, but I'm not rapping. I can't just rap a cappella. So I'm like, all right, let me just figure this out. Got it going again. Finished my gig 3 hours later. I'm packing up. Reggie was like, yo, you want to do this every week? And I was like, wow. Then he was like, how about every first and third Friday? I was like, all right, that's a bet. Now, mind you, that was the first time I DJ'd.
Wow.
Period, of a party ever. Like, really. Like,
that's great. So your first paid gig turned into a residency at a barbershop.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, at the barbershop, I was doing it for free.
Oh,
I was getting tipped out. I didn't even ask for that. They was like, the customers was tipping me, the barbers was tipping me, and everything. And then maybe about a month or two of doing it at the shop, we did Pack-a-Palooza. And Reggie had, a barber chair out there to promote, in the shop. And he was like, yo, Finn, can you come out and play some music? Then I was like, I bet, anything for you, man. Then I bought another speaker. So I was like, okay, cool. Then after that, as soon as I played my second song, I played 2 songs. Mind you, I played a Bee Gees record, and then I played a Madonna record. And this white girl came up to me and put her card on my table. She was like, yo, my boss wants to hire you. And I looked at the card. It was the Sky Zone, the trampoline park. So she was like, yo, can we set up a meeting? I'm like, I only played 2 songs. So I said, yeah, sure. So 2 days later, we had the meeting. We met at one of the video game, Dave and Buster's.
Okay.
So we meet there. She bought me drinks, bought me food and everything. And then it was like, yo, name your price. I gave him my price. I told him the services I can, offer as far as like promotion, marketing, and all of that. This DJing. I'm like, yo, this is like really. I'm just like flying off the seat of my pants here with this.
Right.
And then she goes back to her people, and they was like, okay, can you do this every Friday? So then that's what took me out of the barbershop, and then that was my first paid gig.
Got you.
And at the Sky Zone. Then from there, I started to DJ at WXDU. I had my own show there, like on Fridays. Friday. So like Friday night, it was late, so I could leave the trampoline park and go to Durham and do my thing. So from there, I got hired to DJ the graduate program at Duke University. After that, they don't hire nobody else. They just hire me every year, twice a year. They're like, yo, whatever you want, cut the check. And they're like, yo, boom. And that's how I started getting gigs. And then I started a gig salad account. And then it was just out of nowhere. I was getting booked. I was like, okay.
Word.
I was like, I don't even need to rap if I don't want to.
Word.
So I'm getting DJ money. And, I'm no scratchologist by any means, but I can blend a record and I know how to keep the women on the dance floor. So I take the term DJ very seriously, but I won't be on something like, I'm the greatest DJ. Like, dog, DJ Scratch is still living. Right. He's the greatest DJ. Jazzy Jeff is the greatest DJ. Like, it's going to take me a lifetime to be on their level. Gotcha. But as far as being Finn the DJ, I am the best at what I do. You know what I'm saying? I am a child of all great DJs and all parties I've been to. I have total recall of what made me feel a certain way when I was partying. So when it comes down to doing 90s, 80s, and 70s parties, I don't know many people that can rock with me.
Right.
I'm like, dog, I know how to play these records. I'm an incredible selector. So yeah, I keep getting booked.
Got you.
And I'm a better businessman than most DJs. I can give you a list of 100 DJs that's better than me. Technically, on the tables, but they're not better than me as a businessman.
Got you.
And marketing myself and getting booked. Like, I do majority corporate events. I don't want to do the clubs. I don't want to play trap music. I don't like mumble rap. I have it. If I have to do it, then I'll play it. But I'm in a position where I don't have to play nothing I don't want to play.
Right.
I'm in the space where a lot of DJs want to be. Artistically. They're like, yo, I don't want to play this, yo. A lot of DJs hate going to the clubs and playing the same Future, Drake, Wheezy records.
Right.
They're like, yo, I want to play the Gap Band like you, son. I'm like, yeah. And I get paid more than you over here.
Word.
You get paid in the clubs $200.
Got you.
I get paid more over here. And I got sound. I'm one of the few DJs in here that has sound. A lot of DJs who just stuck in the club, they don't got sound. So they won't get booked for the weddings because who wants to pay more money for speakers because they got to go rent the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rent the speakers. And people's like, I just rather hire this guy because he's already charging me $1,000. You're going to charge me more because you have to rent speakers. He already has everything. So now I'm getting more gigs because I have everything. And I got lighting. I saw more opportunity to have ownership. You know what I'm saying? So like, again, learning from the whole of Justus way of ownership, we owned our own studio. So what did I do when I started Golden Era? I owned my own studio. I had all the equipment. Everything that we had then, I got the same or better. Then when I became a DJ, I was like, I need speakers. I need lights. I need karaoke. I need trivia. I want to be the one-stop shop. You don't need to go anywhere. You got to come rock with Finian DJ now.
Right.
So that's what I do on my off time when I'm not rapping. I'm making money DJing. And
Gotcha.
my DJ money is paying my bills and, paying for my rap career.
Right.
And then my rap career pays for the merchandise. And then the merchandise pays me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all comes around. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing. Ownership, man.
That's what's up, man. And that's something that we talk about here a lot. Is just diversity in your income streams.
Right.
Right. Because especially for artists trying to create out of a place of desperation, like you don't have the means. So it's like, I gotta create this album so I can make some money to pay my rent. And
Right.
it's just like the music comes out different, everything comes out different. Right. And so sometimes it's better. Some people some people can create good art from that place. But we just talk about just because you're an entrepreneur. Right. There's no retirement plan for a rapper.
Not at all. Unless you know how to handle your money.
Exactly. There's no 401k. Nobody's gonna be like, all right, you're done being a rapper. All right, here's $1,200 a month for the rest of your life. But
here's the thing: there is a 401k. You have to put the money into the IRA account.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, most rappers don't see that. Like, they don't have the foresight to look toward tomorrow. They look into right now. So this is why, like, that's a myth. There's no 401k in hip hop. You are your company. So yeah, you have to get you a Roth IRA. Go get that. Like, there's nobody stopping you from doing that. You can just put that money away. Right. And then when you 65 and a half, you can cash out. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things, but if nobody ever puts you on game, you'll never know. So it's there, like, but you have to be smart. That's why it's very important to understand the business of music. The business of music. You know, so it's called the music business, but it's business first. Right. So you get your business right, your money will always be right. Okay. So put money to the side. Think about what happens when you stop rapping. I can stop rapping today. I'm going to still make money off of merchandise. I'm going to still make money off of DJing. I don't have to make another album if I don't want to. I do it now because it's fun. Music is free. I can put out an album right now. You can download it for free. You be like, I ain't gonna pay this man a dime. Right. So I don't factor in my album money. That's just a bonus. If you actually bought it, then you a fan. And you like, yo, I bought your CD. I'm never gonna actually physically play the CD. Right. I just wanted you to sign it and take a picture with you. Just to say I was here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real. Right. But it's like, at the end of the day, I am smart enough to know music is free. Music is nothing but a 3-minute and 30-second commercial of what you do outside of rap. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you look at it in that point, in that aspect, the music is the advertisement for you to come see what else I'm doing. I have a cooking show called Vegan Made Me. People's like, oh, so Finn, you a vegan? You can cook? Oh, man. I've been trying to lose weight. You lose weight too? Like, how'd you do it? I was 210 pounds. I lost 40 pounds. They're like, how'd you lose the 40? This is how I did it. So when I do my show, what's playing in the background? My music. Word. So now, like, you watching me cook, you watching me lose weight, and you're hearing this music. Now you're going to go buy the music. Bonus. Right. But I wanted you to buy into the Vegan Made Me. Got you. And then everything else I do. So, like, matter of fact, I know y'all can't see it, but you heard me unzip my shirt, my jacket. But here go my company, Vegan Made Me. Word. I wear the shirt, and people's like, yo, what's that? It's my company. Here go my business card. Go watch my show on YouTube. Now I'm getting monetization from you going watch my show. Right. And then at the end of the show, if you like the beats, you can buy them here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make everything connect. Right. So from DJing to rapping to cooking to the shows, merchandise, it all comes full circle. So now I got 7 streams of income.
Got you.
So it's like, but you got to understand business. And then everything else is easy because the most talented person out here, I mean, I could probably find 10 rappers that's way better than me, but they broke.
Yeah.
And they'll never make it.
Right.
It's like, I'm not worried about being the best rapper alive. I'm worried about being comfortable for the rest of my life.
Right.
And not have to go into work. I work for myself. I won. I am successful in my own right. For the fact that I don't have to go punch no clock. I used to work at Wells Fargo, right up the street.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Now I don't have to go there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah. But I took everything I learned from Wells Fargo to put it into my business.
Right.
Now I'm unstoppable. So yeah, I understand how all of this works. And it's like, all right, so how much do I need to put in here? Okay, cool.
Got you. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's talk about Golden Era music and kind of where you guys are going into the future. I know you're managing Shame now. Yeah. Talk about him a little bit.
Shame is an incredible rapper, boy. He's a great songwriter, a phenomenal performer. He's an entrepreneur. Like he reminds me of me. That's why I was like, y'all really want to manage him.
Word.
Like working with Shame, first of all, I started out as his DJ. Like managing wasn't even on the table. He came to my house, was like, yo, can you be my DJ? Word. And I was like, I bet. And, you know, again, he, like you, grew up listening to us. And he takes everything I say into consideration. And then he's like, okay, let's try it out. If it doesn't work, then we'll scrap it. But if it works, we'll run with it.
Right.
So he's smart enough to take the advice of, like, yo, I've been here. I know exactly what you're doing. But I want you to be you. I don't want you to be me. So I'm not going to tell you do it exactly like this, but try that. And he sees it. He's like, dog, I didn't know that was going to work. I told you.
Word.
But you know what I'm saying? So he's smart enough to take the advice and still create Shame. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to pick beats. Truthfully, I've never been in the studio with him. I've only been in the studio with him once because I'm on the song. That's the only time I've been in the studio with him.
Wow.
He just turns into music. Like I have no problems of like, nah, Shane, this one I don't like. Like he turns to stuff. I'm like, yo, I really like this.
Word.
I probably never said I don't like this song.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He really impresses me, man. And you know, he has a vision. And then the fact that he even will admit to, like, you know what? I think I need more time to learn a little bit more. Like, I could get a deal, but I don't think I'm ready for it. I'm like, boy, you about to make it. I was like, you get it.
Right.
You understand. Like, you know well enough to, like, everybody wants a deal, but is everybody ready for a deal? But I think he's ready. Now, I think he's ready. We had this conversation like a couple months ago, but I think he's definitely ready.
Got you.
But Shame is incredible, man. Once I got on stage with him and in our chemistry, it's like it's a phenomenal show. And I just really love the fact I can watch from the bird's eye view to see him control the crowd, because it's like, I'm watching me. This is dope. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I got to get back out. I haven't seen Shame since you became his DJ.
Yeah.
I seen him. I'm in the Still Ballin' video. I forgot all about that.
Oh, word. Okay.
I tried to stay in the back. I just came out because needed extras.
Yeah.
But so that's what's up. So what are you guys' goals for the future?
Well, I mean, we're going to go to New York. I have a couple of meetings for him.
Okay.
You know, saying lined up, because I do want to get him a deal. Like, I would put him on Golden Era, but I want to put him on a bigger platform.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even if I did put him on Golden Era, I wouldn't stop a situation that could be better for him. Because, like, my first artist was Rome Clientele. When I signed him in 2013, after we didn't even put out an album for him yet. We just put out the compilation album for the label. So it was me, Rome, and C Minor. Once that record got out, another label came to him and was like, yo, you know, we want to do a situation with you. I was like, go get it. I'm not going to hold you back. I'm not going to let this contract put you in a bind where you can't work with this, because they're obviously a bigger label. Right. I want you to get as much, like, opportunity. I want you to win. So, like, Golden Era, I kind of, like, call myself, like, the triple A, like, you know what I'm saying, like, of baseball, like, but to hip hop, was like, yo, you come through here and go out there. Gotcha. I don't want to ever stop somebody contractually because, like, I'm trying to, like, you know, get money off you. It's like, no, I want you to see the things that I saw. I hate talking about the things that I've done in hip hop because it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm like, I just want you to be a part of the conversation with me.
Right.
I want you to see this because everything I saw, you can see too. It's right there. There's nothing to stop you but you.
Got you.
So, but for Shame, I mean, I already know where he can go, and at this point, Golden Era won't get him there. Me managing him will.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, you need to go over here. We got to get you this deal because this can work. And then if all else fails, then you can always come here. You know what I'm saying? Like you have options. But I'm a smart businessman. I'm like, I'd rather put you in a better position instead of just being greedy and try to like make my label pop off of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's like my label's gonna pop regardless. Like I'm always gonna get money. I'm not worried about that. But I want to put anybody that I'm working with in a better position, whether it's with me or not.
Okay.
And this is why I'm always in business. People see I'm not here to try to take from you. I'm here to try to give. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with the label. And as far as like Golden Era goes, what I want to build is just a safe haven for artists to create. That's why it's called Golden Era. You know, like I want to do, obviously, you know, we do hip hop in the golden era of the sound of Golden Era. That's why, like, when I put out my records, you still get that feeling of 90s. When I sign a rock group, I want them to have that Golden Era sound of the 70s rock. Country, I want you to have that sound of that country Golden Era because it lasts forever. I don't want you to do the trendy because it's going to disappear in 6 months.
Right.
I want something that's going to last forever. I want you to have a career forever. So every time somebody talks about the Golden Era, that's the music, you know, like they're going to.
Right.
Like that's where your mind goes back. The greatest time of your life happened in that golden era. So that's why I named my label that.
Word.
So, you know, that's what, you know, we're building toward, and that's it. So, you know, it's been working for me so far. So I'm like, I'm just waiting for it to work for whoever else I sign.
Got you.
You know, but that's it. But like I said, for Shame, I definitely want to see that young man prosper because he has the heart for it, and he's not just rapping to rap. He got something to say,
right? And
he can really, really rap. Like I put money on him,
right? Like
I'm like, dog. Just like I put money on myself, I put on Shame. Like I would say, like especially in the triangle, two people I'll put a stack on without question: Shame and Tucson. Regardless, what you know what I'm saying? Like say something, I go get them, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I really believe in people of that caliber. And it's just like, yo, and then like with C Minor, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a complete artist. He, you know, he's his mind works crazy, like, you know, visually, verbally, and musically. Like he produces, you know what I'm saying? He writes, and he understands how he wants his vision to be put to screen. So like when we started, like after we put out the second compilation, I started shooting all the videos. He came to me with an idea and we made it happen. I was like, yo, I really like this video. Word. I'm glad you thought of it. You know what I'm saying? Like right. I don't try to take the reins on everything. I want my artist to flourish. It's like, yo, do your thing, and I'll put it on the platform for you to be seen. If it works, it works. If it don't, we can just try it again. Got you.
Okay, so as we wrap up, I mean, obviously, you've been a part of history before, and you're on your way to being a part of history again. As the longer you continue, the more, you know, notches in your belt and everything. So when it's all said and done, how do you want people to remember, or what kind of mark do you want to have made on the industry?
That I gave people an opportunity. Opportunity is gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those people that harbor opportunity and try to like, nah, you can only get it if you rock with me. You don't ever have to sign with me for me to give you an opportunity.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my legacy, is to open doors for people, whether it benefits me or not. I wish people was open doors for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those people that are, you know, are weathered to like, yo, but I never got this opportunity when I was young. I ain't giving it to you, young boy. You got to get it yourself. No. I want to make this thing easy for you.
Right.
There's a pitfall with spikes and alligators down there. Don't go there. Come this way.
Right.
And when you blow up, if you decide to like, yo, give me a bag for that lookout, then great. I'm not expecting it. I did it out of the kindness of my heart. That's me. Because that's just me, bottom line. Whether I was doing music or not, I'm always trying to put people on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was living in New York and I was working, I got people jobs. Like, I was like, yo, come over here. Especially when I got down here. Oh, man, when I was working at the Gap, I got everybody hired. Crisis was working with me. I had, who else? I had so many people working with me at the Gap.
Word.
Everybody thought I was the manager. And I was like, dog, I'm here with you. It's just that my work ethic and my word is gold. But I was like, yo, you need a job? You need a job? You need a job? Until this music pop off? Come on, come over here. Come get this money. It's easy.
Right.
I just want to spread the love. Like, yo, I want you to eat. And now we all eating off of music. Crisis, he's doing incredible things over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, them Jamla, I'm Chris on your show. Jamla's getting it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud of that. And I was like, yo, son, like, I remember we all had jobs once upon a time. And now look at us. We all working for ourselves. Right. You know, straight entrepreneurs and just incredible musicians. And Fonte out there killing it. You know what I'm saying? Pooh out there killing it. You know, Ninth out there killing it. It's like, you know, even though there's no more little brother, it's like, at least you still got music from all of them. And then all of us. I'm still putting music out. When Median decides to put music out, you know, like, you'll get it when he's ready. Comanche putting music out. So it's like, we all may not be together on the same boat, but we're all sailing. Word. You know, and it's a great thing. So, but my legacy is I just want to continue to open doors and give people opportunities so we can all trade stories of what was your first reaction when you got to Europe. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Got you. So, I mean, I know you learn all you've learned, or a lot of what you've learned, just kind of being thrown into the fire and just through the experience. Yeah. Are there any resources that you would point artists to now to learn the things that you've learned?
Intern, like, you know, intern. Like, you know, you see the opportunity right in front of you, ask for the internship. You know, read, get the books, get on YouTube. Like, people are dying to teach you something on YouTube. Go research it. I learned how to, you know, edit videos on YouTube. I didn't know any directors to really sit down with me and show me the way. Right. I learned how to do it because I needed to learn. You know what I'm saying? So you need to, like, really use all the resources that's in front of you. If you know somebody that's very efficient and, you know, in their field of recording, then you need to go sit down with them, right, and learn it. You know, if you can't acquire their services, go learn it. That's just the bottom line. If you cannot afford to hire somebody, go work for them. You know what I'm saying? I never had the chance to intern because I think my thing was time. Right. I aged out of that intern age for me. Yeah. You know, and I was like, you know, coming up in New York, I seen a lot of my friends that was interning for Rockefeller, but they was like 17. I was like 20. And I was like, nah, I don't got time. I gotta, and you know, I had my own apartment. I was like, I gotta pay rent. Right. You know, Rockefeller's not paying me to intern. Now, if I was 17 and still living with my parents, then yeah, I'd be on it. Right. But at that time, I didn't know that there was internships available because, you know, my opportunity to know these opportunities, you know, my knowledge of knowing opportunities was out there. Right. Was slim at the time in the 90s, so I didn't know it was there for me. But now we're in the information age. Everybody is like, come intern, come intern. I'm yelling out, come intern. So I'm tired of doing all this by myself. Right. Like, I don't want the glory.
Yeah, I just brought on my first intern a couple weeks ago.
That's dope. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Man, how's it feel? Now I'm interviewing you. How does it feel to have an intern?
No, it's great. Like, I mean, she helps come up with new content, video ideas, and stuff like that. So
can she intern for me when she's not interning for you?
She probably would want
to.
You
need a part-time intern?
She probably would.
Like, for real. Yeah, like, but that's just really the best way for everybody by the sound of my voice. If you want to learn something and can't afford to go to no school, go work for free if you can. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no negative connotation that comes with working for free, especially if it's something that you want to do for yourself in the future.
Right. And I mean, I got started as an intern. I don't really talk about it much on the podcast, but
you should.
I got started as an intern. that experience opened me up to just a world that I did not know existed.
Right.
Right. Like, not only are you learning from the people that you're interning with, right? Because I think a lot of people go into an internship like, okay, this might turn into some money. This might turn into a job. And it might.
It might.
Right?
Yeah.
But it also will definitely turn into experience.
Yeah.
You're going to see things you would not have seen on YouTube, you know? And you have a chance. Like, I'm talking to you right now, right? That wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for my internship, right? But even beyond that, this conversation, we've been talking for an hour.
Right.
I've learned more in this conversation than I would searching YouTube videos for 8 hours because I don't know what to search for, right?
Right.
You know?
That's the hard part, you know, knowing what to look for, but sometimes you just have to start looking.
Exactly.
You know, like, yeah, that's tough. I mean, like, again, I watched countless hours of YouTube to learn things.
Right.
And I fell down a rabbit hole. I was like, oh, man. Okay, this is what I was looking for.
Right.
But I learned in that journey all those things that I was not knowing I was looking for. By the time I got to my destination, I referenced back to like, yo, I need to know this now.
Right.
So it's a part of the journey. But again, if you are in the position to actually sit down with somebody physically and learn under them, take it.
Please.
Take it. I mean, if I could go back and do it again, I would. I would probably had talked to Puff in a different tone than when I met him back in like '98. Because I was ready. I was like, look, Puff, can I get like 5 minutes of your time? And you know what I'm saying? But I could have been, can I get 5 minutes of your time to figure out how to work at your establishment?
Right.
Instead of 5 minutes of your time so I can kick these bars to you. You know what I'm saying? I could have probably owned Bad Boy today. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I was thinking small at that moment because I knew at that time in '98 I wanted a record deal.
Right.
I wanted to be signed to Bad Boy. I wanted to be better than Big.
Right.
I was thinking small.
Yeah, man. So, yo, I appreciate
Thank you
taking the time to speak to us, speak to the audience. You reaching out to me like that. That's still crazy to me.
I learned from 50. 50 taught me that.
Word.
Like, not directly, but indirectly. Like, I remember when 50 first hit the scene, and in the interview, he was like, I don't just service the big DJs with freestyles. I hit a brand new DJ. You just started DJing today, I'm gonna make a freestyle just for you. Because he knows that new DJ is going to work and build 50 name.
Right.
So I was like, yo, at the end of the day, your fan base may have never heard of me. Why would I push you to the side and go work with somebody that's established? I'm from the working class. I'm like, nah, what's up? Like, you got a platform. I want to be on it. Yeah. I don't care if 2 people listen to this thing. There's 2 more people I'm on their radar now.
Right.
You may have 100,000 that I don't even know you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I don't name chase.
Right.
I just chased the hustle. I seen you was doing your thing. I was like, so what does he do? What's up?
Word.
Like, so I saw the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Most people would think you saw an opportunity to holler at me. I saw the opportunity to holler at you. Again, gotcha. I am from that cloth of, dog, I am not bigger than this culture.
Right.
I'm still within it. So I want to build with people because this interview and any opportunity after this is going to make me a better businessman, a better MC, whatever. Like, you could be teaching me something, and I just, when I walk out of here, I'm like, yo, I just learned something today. If I ain't come here, I learned nothing. Right. So, thank you.
No problem.
You know what I'm saying?
No problem, man. So, thanks again to Finian for coming through.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll wrap this up. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, anytime.
Thank you. And that's going to wrap up our conversation. I'm just super grateful to Finn for coming out and doing that and giving us that talk. I don't know if I can overstate the influence of the Justus League and Little Brother and what that movement meant to us, especially in my hometown in North Carolina. And, we kind of talked offline about just how that has been, how the family tree has grown, and how you're starting to see the influence of that movement. But to understand that they did what they did before the internet was really big, and kind of ended up being able to use the internet as a tool to really expand their reach and really get things popping, that's kind of like how it is now. We're in this new frontier. We're in the SoundCloud era, the Spotify era. And so there are all these new tools, and us as independent artists can do the same thing they did, meaning finding these opportunities that the new technology presents and using it to further your careers. So I hope you guys got just as much out of that conversation as I did, and I'll see you next Wednesday on the next episode of Music Business Dreams. Peace.